Amazing planet!
Look up at the beautiful night sky. Sometimes, the full moon shines so bright and round. It looks like a giant, glowing nightlight. It is the perfect time to grab a telescope. Look up at the beautiful night sky. Roll out a cozy blanket and do some stargazing with your friends. But wait, what is happening? A dark, mysterious shadow is slowly creeping across the moon's bright face. It looks like someone or something just took a giant, invisible bite right out of the side of it. Is there a giant, hungry space monster sneaking around the solar system? Looking for a midnight snack? Don't worry, there are no space monsters up there. This is actually one of the coolest science tricks in the universe. As the shadow gets bigger and bigger, the bright, glowing moon almost completely disappears into the dark. But if it isn't a monster, then what in the world is casting that gigantic shadow? Let's zoom out into space to find out. To solve this mystery, we have to travel thousands of miles into space to meet the biggest family in our neighborhood. Meet the giant sun, our beautiful Earth, and the rocky moon. They are always dancing in circles. But sometimes, they decide to line up perfectly straight to take a cosmic family photo. But there is one silly problem. The sun's giant spotlight can't shine through the Earth. So our planet blocks the light completely. When Earth stands right in the middle, it casts a massive, dark shadow directly onto the moon's face. It is just like standing in front of a flashlight. The light can't go through you, so it makes a dark shadow behind you. So there is no monster eating the moon. The moon is just playing a giant game of cosmic hide-and-seek inside Earth's shadow. Scientists call this giant space shadow a lunar eclipse. Lunar is just a fancy science word for moon. Since the Earth is stuck right in the middle blocking the sun, it decides to have a little bit of fun. Our planet starts playing the biggest, most gigantic game of shadow puppets in the entire universe. When you make shadow puppets at home, your hands block the light to make silly shapes on the wall. But Earth doesn't actually have hands, because our planet is a giant sphere. Its shadow is always perfectly round. If you watch closely, you can see the giant, curved edge of our planet, sliding right across the moon's face. Thousands of years ago, watching this round shadow is actually how scientists first proved the Earth was a globe. As the Earth keeps moving, the shadow covers more and more of the moon, until it is almost completely swallowed in darkness. You might think the moon will go completely black, but instead, something completely magical happens. Instead of going completely dark, the moon suddenly starts glowing in a beautiful, deep, rusty red color. People sometimes call this a blood moon.
Don't be scared, look!
It sounds a little bit spooky, but it is actually completely harmless. To understand why it turns red, we have to look at the Earth's atmosphere, the invisible blanket of air that we breathe. When sunlight hits our atmosphere, the air acts like a filter. It bounces all the blue light away into the sky. But the red and orange light is stronger. It bends right through the air and curves around the edges of the Earth. Our atmosphere acts like a giant movie projector. shining all of that bent red light straight into the dark shadow. So, the moon doesn't make its own red light. It is just catching the colorful light shining from Earth. That red glow is actually every single sunset and sunrise happening on Earth, at that exact moment, projected onto the moon. But wait a minute! The moon circles the Earth every single month. So why don't we see a blood moon every time? Because the moon doesn't spin in a perfectly flat circle. Its path is tilted, just like a wobbly hula hoop. Most of the time, the moon's wobbly path takes it just a little bit above, or below Earth's giant shadow.
Hello!
It is only a few times a year that the tilt lines up perfectly, bringing the sun, Earth, and moon into a straight, cosmic row. And here is the best news for parents and kids. A lunar eclipse is completely, 100% safe to look at. Unlike a solar eclipse, you don't need any special glasses or equipment to watch the blood moon. You can just step outside into your backyard and look right up at the beautiful, rusty red sky. The universe isn't random or scary. It moves like a beautiful, giant clock, right on schedule. Just like every great game of hide-and-seek, the Earth eventually keeps moving along its path. The giant shadow slides away, the red glow fades, and the moon returns to its bright, shiny self. And down on Earth, the show is over. It is finally time for our stargazers to pack up and get some sleep. A lunar eclipse reminds us that science is just nature playing the most amazing, gigantic games. There are no monsters hiding in the dark. Just a beautiful family of planets spinning perfectly together. When we learn how the universe works, the giant, dark night sky isn't scary at all. Because learning helps us understand our beautiful world, not fear it. So keep looking up, keep asking questions, and always enjoy the cosmic show.
Thank you for watching. See you later.